For portable live streaming on the go, keep your phone charged with the Anker PowerCore 10,000, one of the smallest and lightest external batteries you can get. Affiliate link below. Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel, and I'm a little surprised at this information because apparently we're getting a new Tomb Raider game. That's right, I know, I'm shocked too. It's called Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which makes sense given the fact that in 2013 you had the reboot with Tomb Raider, and then you had the 2015 sequel, Rise of the Tomb Raider, and then of course it having the problems of exclusivity on the Xbox One for a whole year before it then came over to the PlayStation 4 with the Game of the Year edition, which then had all the DLC for the same price. Basically, Xbox players got screwed on that shit. It was like a $30 season pass. I know, I bought it. I got the game for Christmas, though, so I felt like that was my way of giving back. Game's a lot of fun, but definitely should have waited for the PlayStation Game of the Year edition because I feel like I got more money's worth out of that version than the first one. But anyway, so this has been kind of like gaming's worst kept secret, essentially. We knew that the game was hinted at last year, although it wasn't confirmed. This was actually brought to light when somebody happened to glimpse a PowerPoint presentation on a game developer's laptop while riding in the subway. And just imagine that for a second. Like the dude sitting there, right, working on his laptop, thinking no one on a subway is going to notice what he's working on. And there happens to be a very crafty, very sneaky gamer right there, peeking over the shoulder, going like, what the fuck you looking at, dude? You know, like, what you working on? Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Okay, and then of course they now have further proof of its existence, and it's not from Square Enix itself. It's actually from the company called Takeoff Creative. It's an LA studio that creates promotional materials for video games, and they've collaborated with Square Enix and Ubisoft in the past. Now they promoted Shadow of the Tomb Raider through an update on their website that featured the game's official logo and early concept sketches for the game's key art, which looks pretty cool. It looks pretty cool. You get to see a bit more about Lara this time around. She's like wielding like a spear and a sword. You know, it looks like more of a whip. You know, there's a few other things there. Her bow and arrow, clearly. And it gives you a bit of an idea of what to expect from this one. And it says here from the website, through sketches and renders, we explored varying concepts for Shadow of the Tomb Raider logo and key art. This process consisted of us using different pillars of the game as inspiration to accurately portray the brand, meaning these guys have seen at least storyboard works and concept art and maybe some cinematics or animatics or combat footage or in-game footage or in-engine footage, if you will, of what to expect from this game, and they're able to take that and put that into some promotional material. So this is cool. This is cool. I like the idea of another Tomb Raider game. I didn't think we were going to get one. I just didn't. I didn't think we were going to get one until after the movie comes out. The movie starring Alicia Vikander opens March 16th, 2018, so middle of March next year, which is kind of an odd time to release a movie like that, don't you think? You figure like Tomb Raider would come out like summertime or not in March. But to be fair, the reason why, you know, you can't really discount March much anymore because even this year you had Logan, Beauty and the Beast, and what was it, Power Rangers, and there was a couple other ones in there too that were pretty big. March had a very big year. Even last year, Batman v Superman was in March. You know, like, so they're putting out these bigger movies in March because it's showing to be an actual pretty good time. The spring break is in some respects happening in some places, and people are still going to the movies looking to see it. Now, the Tomb Raider movie coming out next year takes the story from the 2013 reboot game, essentially. I mean, pretty much point for point. And so having it tie into a brand new game would actually be really good for cross-promotional material. I just find it odd, though, that even though the movie wrapped production like about a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, there was no mention of this from Square Enix at E3. In fact, the only information really coming out of Square Enix recently has been like their divestment from IO Interactive and Hitman, and the constant delays of Final Fantasy VII Remake, whenever the fuck that thing's coming out. Who even knows at this point? So us getting our hands on Shadow of the Empire is going to be, I think, good, because for one, the games are a blast. They are. They're a lot of fun, and I'm really hoping that they learned their lesson from the last time by doing the exclusivity thing for a whole year and letting Microsoft buy that. Might have helped, finish up development costs or helped out development costs or given them a bit of profit, but the game did not sell well on the Xbox One. I mean, so much so that a year later on the PS4, they released the 20th anniversary edition, or the 20, it was meant to commemorate the 20th anniversary edition of the franchise by having the Game of the Year edition come out. You know what I mean? And so that really hurt it. It divided, it split the audience, and that did not go over well. So this one guaranteed will be cross-plat, simultaneous release. I'm hoping that Creative Dynamic or Crystal Dynamic or Creative, I think it's Crystal Dynamics, that when they work on this game, they learn their lessons from the last one, meaning do not put a collectible around every goddamn corner. That kills the fucking flow. I have OCD when I play those games, especially on Ubisoft. It just goes crazy. I have to turn it off on the menu because I will just stop what I'm doing. It's like squirrel or some shiny shit, and I go look for it. But I'm hoping that they learned from that. They kept it more action-oriented. If it allows her to wield swords and spears and different types of weaponry, I'm hoping there's a better, improved crafting system. Well, the crafting system wasn't bad in Rise of the Tomb Raider. I feel like it could have been maybe a little bit more improved upon or give you a bit more variety, which would be nice. And I have a feeling they might be doing that here. And then looking at everything else, I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I really want to see what they've come up with. I'm more shocked actually that it wasn't announced at E3. Like when I first read this article, I'm like, no, they would have mentioned that at E3. They would have mentioned that completely. But it actually turns out that Square Enix is going to be holding off announcing other things for other conventions, other events. Once again, going to show you that E3 is no longer the biggest event of its kind in the world. You have Gamescom coming out in August. You've got Paris Games Week, I think in like October, November, somewhere in there. Like you've got these other, Tokyo Game Show for one, all these really other big events, PAX happening over the course of the next year, and E3 is no longer as relevant as it once was. So maybe that's one of the reasons why they decided to hold off on this until later. And then it's entirely possible as well that Sony might have come in and said like, hey, Squeenix, why don't we give you some money and then you give us some exclusivity shit like we're doing with Destiny and some other games, right? And then play this at the PlayStation Experience at the end of the year. Like they could be doing something similar to that. We don't know yet. So hopefully we'll find out more soon. I'm pretty hyped for this game now that I know it exists. I just wanted to share that with you guys and get you guys' opinion on this. Do you think that Shadow of the Tomb Raider will be good? Do you think that it will live up to the hype? If there is hype for it at all, do you think Square Enix and Crystal Dynamics actually have the opportunity to kind of repair the bridge that they broke or they burned down really when they screwed up how, taking the money from Microsoft for the exclusive rights for Rise of the Tomb Raider for a year? These are things I want to know. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This is the Mundane Matt channel. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.